Alright, so I've got this dead battery here, little 55 amp car battery, whatever. It's got black ring in there saying that it needs to be recharged. It's not white, it's black, which is cool. But it's like at 0 volts. So if we put the probes in, it's in millivolts, right? I bought this little charger. I'll link it in the description off eBay. It does 5 amps at 12 volts, but it also has this pulse repair thing. I always thought that was a bit of a gimmicky thing. But as you can see, that's what's going on. So let's hook it up and put the probe in there. It says that it's full because it just goes open circuit basically. It gives it a little boot and then you see the voltage drop back off again. Now we'll put it in pulse mode. And just watch the decimal point there. See how the high numbers are starting to increase? I'll come back to this in like half an hour if that pulse mode continues. But I reckon this will actually get that to charge again. Now these were like 25 bucks. Now obviously I don't really have a need for a sad little battery, but I get them in the scrap all the time. So, two down there for example. If you can get something like this to run these, I've got an oil pump I use on a reclaimed waste oil thing that runs on 12 volt batteries. I'd much rather leave a 12 volt battery like this out in the rain or whatever and run the pump for an hour than say something like this one, which is a big lithium battery inside that box, which is worth hundreds of dollars. These are free and then I still scrap them anyway later, so like get a bit more use out of them before I send them off. So as you can see, it's doing its pulse thing. I'm going to leave this go. I'll come back to this tonight, well later this afternoon, so tonight, and see what we end up with. So the LiPo charger wouldn't charge it. It come up and just said straight away over voltage. But this is trying to. You're getting peaks of up to 4 volts there. But if that can knock some of the sulfation off those plates just by doing the pulse thing constantly, there is a good chance that that will charge again. So this might be really good for pulling a battery back up from dead. I think I've got one of these style AGMs that's pretty dead. I wouldn't mind trying that on that. Oh, it's fan cooled too. Cool little short leads, but yeah. Like I think it was like 28 bucks. Up to 6 amps it reckons. Yeah. Obviously cheap. Had the right, it's got an Australian plug on it. But yeah, I'll update you a little bit later. Okay, so I've just taken this off because it's getting hot. The pulse charge did not save it. It got it up to 8 volts, but as soon as it's got 8 volts, then I'm saying this end cell's dead. It's pretty common failure point. Normally on the positive side of a car battery. Down to 3.6 volts as soon as I've taken it off like that. So yeah, the charger was definitely not at fault there, but the battery dropped a cell. So that's when the cell's internal resistance shorts to basically nothing, and all it does is pass. They're all 2 volt cells, and you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And what happens is the bridge between 8 and 10, they just go short circuit, which means that basically they create heat as the capacity passes through them or charge passes through them, but they don't actually hold any energy. They're not actually doing their job. So think of it as 6 2-volt batteries working together in a car battery more than just one 12-volt battery, because they're all individual cells. Sometimes you can feel, it's been hot for too long, but sometimes you can feel which ones are actually getting hot. So this goes back in the recycling pile. But yeah, this thing, absolutely great. It started charging that with 0.6 of a volt registering or something like that, 0.4 of a volt. was in the millivolts, and that still started charging it in that pulse repair mode. So I'll link this in the video description. We'll do a battery that's good but low capacity next, and see if we can rejuvenate some capacity. Yeah, we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.